Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today. You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Public Affair. Before we continue, you guys know I already got to give you guys all a shout out for all the love and support that you guys show the show. I truly appreciate it. Going on 3 years of The Public Affair, and y'all are still lit and hot as fuck, so thank you guys so much. And of course to Mason, who is recording us on this lovely rainy Sunday, but that's okay, we got mimosas on deck and I fed him a cheeseburger, so he's good. Everybody's good, right? Now, before we continue, I just want to give you a huge shout out to a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode, of course, was brought to us by David Santabanez with Alinea Real Estate, the #1 sales agent in his office. He's going to help you buy a home or sell your property. You guys, I've been working with him all year to look for my dream chateau. Taking a little bit of a break right now. You know, life be happening and stuff, but I can't wait to get back into it. Definitely the GOAT. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea or call the number on the screen. That's right. For all your real estate needs, my boy David is not stopping and he's not resting. He's going to make sure he puts you in the home of your dreams. To David Santabanez, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Pee-wee's Crab Cakes of Texas with my girl Anika Armstrong, serving the most authentic Asian cuisine, yes, with a wide selection of signature crab cakes, pasta, seafood, and so much more. Sounding very brunchish after this. Me and my guests, we might go to brunch after this. Yeah, we're definitely going to do that. All right, make sure you guys head over to 108 Gym Drive in Hewitt to see how delicious it is. Of course, she's got brunch as well on Sundays, and those mimosas will have you lit. It's brunch today. It's brunch hours. Yes, of course, we're going to Pee-wee's. That's right. Anika, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Arturo's Framework, Arturo and Eva de la Cruz. They do wood framing for houses and all remodeling. Listen, and if you want a house built from the ground up, like you don't want to buy somebody else's house, you want your own house, they will assist you with that as well. Hablan inglés y español. You can call the number on the screen for a free in-town consultation or follow on Facebook at Arturo's Frame. To Arturo y Eva, thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Waco Fencing and stuff with my boy Juan Morales. Now, if you're going to get that house built from the ground up, you're going to need a nice brand new privacy fence, right? Juan is building those fences and chain link fences. Perfect for all that extra at-home privacy so you can walk around however you want to, you know what I'm talking about? He also does demolitions, build wood decks, stone patios, and gorgeous flower beds. Contact him with the number on the screen for your consultation, my boy Juan Morales. Thank you so much for being a longtime sponsor of The Public Affair. Of course, to Joseph Blancas with JB Auto Detailing. That's right. He's providing mobile detailings for all of Waco and the surrounding area. Why are you going to take your car somewhere else and get your car washed when he could just come straight to you, promising 100% satisfaction guaranteed, leaving your vehicle looking brand new and super fresh. You know, he got some stains out. He got the stains out too, all right? Pricing and such at jbautodetailing.net. Call the number on the screen to book and follow on Facebook at JB Auto Detailing. Thank you so much. And of course, I can't go on without thanking Mr. Randy Olguin with Waco Decal Plug. Now, he's a vinyl graphic artist and installer. He is perfect for up-and-coming business owners and entrepreneurs who are looking for a logo for their business. He's got you. He'll make you decals and everything. Habla español también. Call for free estimates with the number on the screen and follow on Facebook and Instagram at Waco Decal Plug. To my boy Randy Olguin, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. I truly appreciate you. Thank you, darling. All right, guys, like I said, I've been super excited about having this next guest on the show. He was actually recommended to me by my trainer, Monika. And we all know Monika, who just will not come on the show, right? But, you know, one day soon, okay? And, you know, he also came to one of my events just recently that I hosted, the Battle of the Bands. So between hosting and him eating up all my pizza, I said, this is going to be an amazing episode, and I cannot wait to get to know you on the show. I'm also popping his podcast cherry because he is a podcast lover. I'm so happy to welcome my dear friend, personal trainer, and insurance agent, of course, Orlando Montelongo here on The Public Affair. How you doing?
Good, Andrew. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming. First of all, it's Sunday. It's raining. And, you know, I don't know if this show is just a little bit out of your comfort zone because you strike me as quite the introvert. Is that correct?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably most people would assume that.
Yes.
But I think as you've gotten to know me, that's not necessarily the case.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I'm happy to have you on the show. Excuse me, the most. But I'm happy to have you on the show because I really want people to see the other side of you. And I got to know you a little bit when you came to my event, which thank you for coming to my event.
Of course.
It was lit, wasn't it?
It was very lit.
Wasn't it?
I apologize for eating all your food.
No, it's okay. I actually low-key wanted you to eat all the food.
I did.
No, yeah, I did. Yes, he did. He did. He was cute and left me one little slice of pizza, but I was like, no. I don't, fun fact, I really don't like eating while I'm doing hostings or even before the show. Because then I feel bloated. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I was actually low key happy that you ate the entire pizza. But some of those rockers were kind of hot too. So I was all cool with it. I was right. Tell them that I was a fucking mess.
He was everywhere. He was inside. He's like, hey, I'll be here for 5 minutes.
Yes.
Then I got to go and this. And yeah, man. You did
No,
great.
well, you thank you so much. And you were super patient with me. And I just really enjoyed, getting to know you. And I didn't want to get to know you too much because I really wanted to save it for the show. I learned some really cool things about you that I can't wait to dive into.
Sure.
Again, one of the reasons also why Orlando's on the show, like I mentioned earlier, was Monika, who was our trainer, Fat Fit with Monika. I'm wearing the shirt. Excuse me, shout out to my medal because I got second place at Festivus Games. Okay.
Big deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal. Those
deal.
fucking beasts over there, Jesus Christ. But I was over there fighting for my life.
Exactly. You have to. You have to in competition.
You do. And you know what? I was fucking a wreck.
Yeah.
The whole, for 2 days, Orlando, I'm not playing with you. I was a damn wreck. And once everything started, again, it was just, my body's killing me right now. Nobody knows, but
trust me, I get it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, but Monika was like, you should really have Orlando on the show. And it's like we mentioned earlier, you strike me as such an introvert. I just never thought you would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why the decision to come on the Public Affair? I mean, this is a pretty raunchy show. I get down to the point, do you just...
Absolutely. No, I mean, something about me is I love opportunity, and sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone and just try new things and just see what happens from it. And that's kind of how I try to live my life.
Yeah, definitely.
Because why be too scared about things? Why overthink things? Because that's exactly how I've been for so long, and still I can be. But it's like, you know what? When you meet people and there's a good relationship, there's a good vibe. Like, you know what? Opportunities.
Just do it. I tell guys to try new things all the time, and nobody ever listens to me.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Why do you think so?
Because they're scared, and I told them it's fun. You know what I'm talking about. Now I will say a lot of people get scared to come on the podcast. I don't know why. Like, I'm super nice.
Yeah.
You know what? It's like I told you. I think the show's too real for it to sound good. And a lot of people, I get them to share a lot of personal things, which I definitely want to do with you, but you share what you want.
Exactly.
And I always tell, nobody's going to be mad at you for telling your truth. Nobody's going to be mad at you for being honest, even if it was your first time. Like, I've shared shit on this show that I'm like,
it happens.
No, and it happens. Exactly.
And just like you said, I'll share with you what I'm comfortable with.
Yes, please.
And that's probably the hard thing for people, right? Is they feel pressured to give you an answer instead of saying, hey, Andrew, that's a great question. I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah, definitely.
Or something along those lines.
I hope I don't get that today, though. I really hope I don't. Now I'm scared.
I will answer like we talked about before, as much as I'm comfortable with and all that sort of stuff. But
definitely.
Yeah.
No, well, listen, I appreciate it. So for anybody who may not know who you are, Orlando, let me just shut my ass up. Can you just introduce yourself for people watching and they're like, who is Orlando Montelongo and why did Andrew invite him on the show? Tell us a little bit about your life growing up too, please.
Sure, absolutely. So my name's Orlando Montelongo, senior. And I'll leave that there for a little bit and explain.
Oh, okay.
But and I thought about this whenever I was coming on the show, like, what do people already know about me? What do they think they know about me? And probably the top two things that came to mind was, as we met, was me as a trainer, me as a coach, and then of course having a son. Yes. That's probably the two biggest things that I could think of. But going back to, I guess the start, more or less. I come as an Army brat.
Yes.
So my dad was in the Army for 22 years. Long time. So fun fact, and I don't know if I shared this with you at the Battle of the Bands, but I was born in Germany.
No, you did not share that with me.
Born in Germany.
Do you speak German?
I do not. I was only born there.
That would have been hot if you did. Like
German,
I would have told you to speak German on the show.
To say something.
I had somebody speak Korean on the show once.
Yeah.
That did things to my body. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But then he moved away. So
okay, probably good for him, right?
No. Shout out to Luke Wu.
What's up, Luke?
He moved for the betterment of his career. He moved to Florida for opportunity. But I'm just saying, when he spoke Korean on my show, it was because I have this obsession with Asians now. I don't know what it is.
Okay. Well,
yeah, just like I love Asian food. I love Asian men. But anyway, go ahead. Germany.
Okay. So Germany, there for a couple years. Okay. Again, I have no recognition of what that was like.
For sure.
Then from there, if I'm if I remember correctly, let's see, North Carolina or maybe Hawaii. Actually, I think it was Hawaii. So I lived in Hawaii.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, lived in Hawaii. Again, I have some memories of that. I'll never forget though. I got stung by a jellyfish.
Oh shit.
Yeah, got stung by jellyfish.
Yeah,
I was super young. I still remember that.
Yeah. I've been stung by a jellyfish too on my stomach.
You?
That shit hurts.
Yeah, really
really
bad.
hurts.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So very cool to live in Hawaii for sure. North Carolina after that.
Okay.
A few years there, and then before moving to Texas, I lived in I lived in Virginia.
Virginia. Okay, got you.
So,
yes.
Yeah, I was there for about 6-7 years, and then moved here to Texas in 2002 or 2003.
Okay, got you.
And the reason we moved here was my dad was retiring from the Army.
Yeah.
And all my family's from here.
Yes.
Excuse me. All my family's from here. My mom's side, my dad's side. And, he took a position at the old University High School. That was off Bagby.
Yes.
And he started up the JROTC program.
Yeah.
Which actually this year, this month, he had his 22nd or 23rd JROTC banquet ball.
Oh, so he's been doing it that long.
Yeah, he's been doing it a while.
Yeah, I was going to say, for anybody who doesn't know, a lot of my guests probably went to university.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people that watch this went to university. His dad is Sergeant Montelongo.
Yep.
Yes.
First sergeant.
And as soon as I told some people that you were coming on the show, they're like, ooh.
Yeah, hey.
Like, your dad's tough as nails.
Yeah.
Like, he's had to snatch some people up, from what I understand.
You know,
rightfully so. These kids don't know how to act.
Right?
They
and
don't.
Again, people have their opinions about everything, but unless you know him personally, then people are going to talk.
Definitely.
It's just how things are.
I've worked with your dad one time.
Okay.
I've never met your dad in person. When I was on the radio, I was tasked for this thing that we were doing, this event, to get volunteers.
Yeah.
So I got in touch with Sergeant Montelongo, and he gave me University High School volunteers.
Yeah.
I had this other point of contact who I just was like,
Yeah.
But Sergeant Montelongo was like, my kids, if they misbehave, you let me know. When I tell you those kids were like this the whole time, I was like, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
And that's, what some of those kids need. They just need to be told this
some direction.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly
Kids are lacking that. Now, it had to have been hard for you growing up as a military brat, and a dad who's tough as nails like that. I mean, did you ever find yourself being a little bit more rebellious, or do you think that it was a good thing that he was kind of cracking the whip a lot, quite often?
Yeah, no, so that's good. I think in the moment of growing up in that, very, very tough. And I think kids can say, my life's the hardest, this or that, and looking back, it probably wasn't that bad.
Right.
Of course, we had issues with different things, and going back to university real quick, again, we moved here because he took that position. Well, I also went to the school.
Okay.
So he was teaching, ROTC, while I was a sophomore. Yeah, we had moved when I was a sophomore. So, I mean, that was tough for me because, again, I mean, I love my dad, but to see your parent at school when you're at school, I mean.
Like, you can't really act out.
Well, yeah.
But you were still acting out.
I don't know that I was
allegedly.
Yeah.
Listen, we were all kids. Listen, well, I will tell you what, I was a good kid.
Yeah.
My parents had it so good with me. They did. I don't give a fuck. They did. Okay.
Yeah.
But people like when they're most 15, 16-year-olds, they want to go experiment with things, try things out. But your dad was like the iron fist.
Yeah. Well, because he was there.
Yeah.
Right?
For
so
sure.
it's like clearly I know from the teachers if I do something wrong or if I don't do what I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
Well, of course I'm going to hear it from my dad.
They have access,
right?
yes.
So, which makes sense looking back, right?
Yeah.
But, that was very tough. But, again, over that, no big deal.
Yeah, yeah. Do you ever feel like your relationship was strained with your dad because of how hard it was? I mean, it's like you guys saw each other 24/7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just about. I mean, some of us get a break from our parents actually going to school.
Sure.
But you just could never escape the wrath of like that strictness and that discipline. So would you ever say that some of that affected you as a teen boy growing up or like a young adult and saying, God, I just need to like back off? You know what I mean?
I think so. I mean, I think, again, looking back to how I was as a kid, nothing too major.
Yeah, for sure.
As far as getting in trouble, things like that. But yeah, it's something now that I definitely want to work on is our relationship. But it took time to really understand that kind of stuff.
For sure. What was the worst thing that you did when you were in school and then your dad found out and you got home and just got the ultimate ass whooping?
So no ass whooping.
No, oh, really?
He wasn't abusive.
He wasn't.
Andrew,
No. Well, I don't mean to say that he was abusive. He wasn't. But we all got our ass whooped once or twice. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, I think
I
really
he's some child abuser. don't say that because listen, again, I've spoken with your dad before.
Yeah.
I know he's gonna come after. Don't.
Yeah.
I'm not even doing that to Sergeant Montelongo.
Yeah, expect him on your next episode.
No, much respect to him. I will say when we worked together, it was very pleasurable. It was over the phone, but I would do it again.
Sure.
Very,
awesome.
very. I like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, definitely.
Man, I don't really remember. I think just probably grades.
Okay, gotcha.
Or something along those lines.
So you never like snuck out or nothing like that, or had girls in the house, or
no,
snuck them in? No.
Nope. And I'll talk more about that because again, I mentioned earlier with the senior part of my name.
Yes,
so
yes.
clearly.
Okay, you know what? I'm not waiting. Why don't we just dive right into that? One of the biggest things that I learned about you, which struck me, not the fact that you're a dad, cool, but the fact that your son is 17.
Yep.
And so you're close to my age. I'm 31 years old. You were 36?
36.
36. Okay, so that goes to show that you were a teen dad.
I was very much a teen dad.
Teen dad, okay? I've had hundreds of teen moms on this show.
Yeah.
But I don't think, maybe I've had a teen dad. Listen, there's 150 episodes of this show, guys. Cut me some slack, okay?
Yeah.
But, no, I would love to, dive into a little bit about that because I would love to get that perspective as the dad side. You know, as a teen, can we talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely.
I thought he was going to hit me with that answer from earlier.
No.
I was scared.
That's something I'm definitely comfortable talking about.
Oh, sweet.
Again, being a teen parent, very tough.
Yeah.
Having supportive parents is awesome.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I had him at 18.
Okay.
Basically, how I word this is, young, dumb, and full of cum. Hey,
nothing wrong with that.
Facts are facts on that. So, that was.
You were still in high school?
No, I had just graduated.
Oh, you had just graduated.
So
okay.
his mom had graduated a year after me.
Oh, got you.
So she's a year older.
Cougar. Okay.
Yeah.
Not really a cougar. What was she, going on 20?
No, 19.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Maybe,
okay.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get you. I was hoping you would say she was like 24, but
24,
that way she could be a cougar. Yeah.
No. So that was tough because here I am, a kid having a kid, right?
Yes.
And challenges of life with that,
mm-hmm.
and very tough stuff. Very tough trying to work on a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't married, anything like that.
Right.
Trying to raise this new baby.
Right.
Trying to do it to the best of my ability.
Right.
Because what do you truly know at 17, 18 years old? Nothing.
Right. No,
right?
for sure. Yeah. I mean, you don't have the answers to everything.
And you never will.
No.
Right. But you can try to just do what you feel is best.
And barely the resources. Where were you working? Like a Bush's Chicken? Like, for minimum wage back then was $5 an hour.
It was very
right. It was low. When I was in high school, it was
low.
like $5.25, and I thought it was a shit when I was making $7 an hour.
Very, very low. I'm trying to think, where did I work at?
Mm-hmm.
I do remember working, and this was in high school. He might have been born yet, or
got you
something.
What was your dad's reaction when you told him that you got a girl pregnant?
Oh man.
Because I wonder how you got away with that. Because if your dad was as strict as you say he was, and he run a tight ship, I imagine Orlando like sneaking out the window, and like
away.
Giving this girl and giving some girls some pleasurable experience, and then going home, and then she's like, I got some news for you.
Man, you know what? I don't think I remember the exact moment. I think I remember telling him, and there were some tears probably.
Mm-hmm.
I know my mom wasn't very happy. I mean, because I'm her boy. Like, I'm the only boy.
Okay.
But I think that was more or less kind of how that went. Was I told him, hey, this is what happened.
What's going on. Okay.
And just kind of figured out.
Tell us how. I mean, obviously you had sex, but like, did you sneak out or like what happened?
I don't remember. I want to say it was maybe at her parents' house, something along those. I mean, right? Because you're a teenager, right? So it's like,
I don't know. Listen, my kids better not ever think that they can. A lot of parents these days let their kids in the room with the door closed.
Oh yeah.
What is all that mess? Why
a mess.
Oh, okay, no, that's fucking wild to me. I'm sorry, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
I will snatch my daughter by her fucking hair and I'll abuse the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Like, don't you dare. Okay, yeah.
But no, it all seemed to happen pretty fast.
It just happened.
And
okay,
of course, again from there, you got to tell the people who were important in your life,
right? For sure.
Say, hey, this is what's happening.
Okay.
The moment of that is very surreal.
Did you find yourself in a position, because a lot of guys that young, especially based on what I've heard on this show with a lot of the women, they kind of just like, okay, well, you're on your own, or get rid of it. You know what I mean? What was your initial reaction? Did you all of a sudden go into survival mode, or were you just kind of like, I don't want to deal with this shit? Or
I know it definitely wasn't that. It
Okay.
wasn't like, oh, well, we're just gonna do kind of, I guess, what you were talking about, like try to do away with it. That was never a conversation.
Okay,
it
gotcha.
was, it was a scary conversation.
Yeah.
But it was never like, okay, we're gonna try to get the easy way out, I guess I'll say.
Yeah, definitely.
But, we dealt through it. Again, very tough being a young parent.
For sure.
Challenging stuff, man.
Yeah.
Very challenging stuff.
But your son lives in town, correct?
Yeah, so my son lives with me.
Oh, he does live with you.
Yep. So
okay.
that's a whole, and I probably won't go too deep into the whole specifics on that.
I got you.
But just know that, yes, again, he is 17.
Yeah.
So yes,
that's just kind of like, that's wild.
It is very wild.
Yeah.
But and I always try to, again, as I've grown up, I try to look at things different perspective.
I got you.
Try to grow as a person.
Yes.
So a lot of conversations I have with my son clearly go back to what I was doing.
Yeah, definitely.
At his age.
Yes.
As I tell him all the time, I'm like, son, which his name is also Orlando.
Oh, okay.
So he's a junior.
Got you.
To the whole senior. I'm a senior.
He's the senior. Okay.
I don't get the discounts. I want them senior discounts.
Yeah, really?
I want the senior discounts.
Okay, listen, when we go to brunch after this, you better tell them that you want the senior discount.
Senior discounts.
And if I don't get the 15% off, I'm smacking you. Okay?
Exactly right.
Because those mimosas rack up.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, by the way.
No. Oh, yeah, no. Listen, y'all should know. Listen, when you guys come to, when I invite you to my events, right, like my friends, I take care of my people.
Absolutely.
And do you know what, real quick, before we get back into you being a teen dad, because I have more questions.
Yeah.
Do you know that afterwards, so I got paid for the event.
Yes.
And then they found out that I paid for all the food and the mimosa.
Yeah.
And she's like, why did you pay a tab? And I was like, nobody told me that I got a tab too. Usually that's like in like discussions prior. It's like, okay, what amenities or whatever. And she's like, next time we hire you, because they said they would again. She said, you come get me and you don't pay for nothing.
Ooh. Make sure I get invited to that one.
Yeah, no. Well, everybody's fucking invited now.
Everyone's invited.
I was like, what the hell? Bitch just spent like $150. I was like, I would have loved that comp off,
Exactly,
Yeah.
right.
No, but it was cool. No worries. Like, I take care of my people when they come to my events.
Yeah.
I had one gay event where I had all the gays slid into my friend Mauro Maldonado's DMs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was the best thing ever. It was like, that's like the highlight of my life. Like, I can die now. Yeah. He was uncomfortable. I thought it was very funny. Okay, no, so you're raising a son as a teen.
Yep.
Okay. How do you get your son to not make the same mistakes, as you did?
So that's good. That's a very good question. I think it's conversation.
Okay.
I think it is, again, stuff with his mom and me.
Yeah.
Whatever with that. But it's just like, you know what? I guess I'm a firm believer in, the cards you're dealt with as you grow up.
For
or
sure.
even as an adult. Like stuff happens all the time.
Yeah.
What maybe you can't change it.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can figure out a plan. You can try to figure out a solution.
Yeah.
Right? And you can look at, I guess, what you don't want.
Got you.
Maybe from that example of whether it's your parents and like, ooh, I don't want that sort of relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
Or different things.
Definitely.
And you have to just kind of head down and stay focused and go through the trials of life.
Yeah.
But again, if your intentions are ultimately, okay, I want better.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want what they have or want what they are doing.
Yes.
That's motivation to me.
I got you.
Right. Motivation to say, well, here's a bad example that I'm living with.
Right.
I want to live better.
Yes.
So then focus on those things to get there. So I just have conversations with him.
Got you.
I absolutely let him know, like, dude, you're 17.
Right.
I was 18 when I had you.
Right.
And I've told him, and probably a few of my friends, like, that's my biggest fear.
Yeah, as him being a teen dad as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And you'd be a 36-year-old grandpa.
Well, I mean, but that's the truth.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I know people who are kind of living with that.
Oh, yeah.
And again, it's not to say anything bad about it because things happen and kids have kids at younger ages.
But I don't want to be no damn grandpa in my 30s.
Exactly.
Numerically speaking, I stopped counting after 21, so I'm 21.
Yeah, you're 21 every year.
That's 21. It. You know what I mean? And so I can't just be like fucking a 35-year-old grandpa. Like, I don't know how I would react to that. Like, I feel old. Like, my life is about to be cut short. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's tough. And again, that's just my biggest fear for that sort of situation.
Yeah,
is I don't want to have that. Hey, Dad, I have to talk to you, and
that makes your heart drop.
I mean, it does. When I think about it, it's very scary. It's
Orlando.
But I can only hope that through conversations, through doing my best to raise him correctly, and making it open. Like, hey, man, if you have questions or if there's stuff on your mind, talk to me, and I'll give you the best advice that I can at the time.
Yeah.
But that's just what I've learned, with my relationship with my son, but also relationships in general.
Okay.
Again, it goes back to what you were saying with having people on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe you come off however you do, and maybe they don't receive it well,
right?
But all they know how to respond with is, well, I guess I got to answer that tough question.
Well, they get excited to share. And listen, shout out to everybody who's opened up on this show. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's some people that have shared some shit on this show.
Sure.
They went on other shows, and it was like different. You know what I mean? Then they come on this show, but at the end of the day, they end up being proud of themselves. You know what I mean? They text me and say that wasn't that bad.
Exactly.
And actually, I'm getting messages all day.
And there's something about opening up, right? There's something about telling your story.
This is a safe space.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and honestly, but yeah, like you're joking to it, but it's also very true.
It's absolutely true.
This is a one-on-one conversation.
For sure.
Yes, people are going to see it, but let them have their own opinions.
Exactly.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Our relationship is going to be however that is.
For sure.
Right? And that's how I've always been, and that's what I try and always remain to. It's like, again, me and you have a relationship. We have a friendship.
Yes.
You've worked out at my gym.
Yes.
Things like that. So I know you based off how I know you.
Yeah, definitely.
People can assume, oh, well, did you know this about Orlando or this or that?
Yeah.
Knowing you're going to be like, okay, whatever.
We're going to get into that too. Yeah. Oh, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
You won't believe how many people I've had on this show where afterwards they're like, but did you know this? I had a guest real quick because we do have to take a break. But I just had somebody on the show and somebody called me and said, well, do you know that he was at work trying to get somebody drunk and have sex with them? I was like, I can't wait for somebody at my job to try and get me drunk and have sex with them. So get out my DMs.
That's not me, by the way.
No, it's not.
That's not me.
No, but get out my damn. It's not Orlando. It's not Orlando, but there was a guest in the past. And I was like, get out of my. People just always got something to say. Like, shut the fuck up.
And they always will.
Like, you just want to expose their bad things. You know what I mean? Listen, we have to take a quick break, okay? So when we get back, I have some more questions that I want to ask about you raising your son.
Sure.
Again, as much as you'd like to share. I want to talk about CrossFit 818, which was your gym, which you are shutting the doors down to. Well, by the time this comes out, they'll be done.
Yep.
Yeah, and also some insurance questions I have as well, because I think a lot of people have to know about some things, about things like that. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to fill up on mimosas. And when we get back, we're going to have more with Mr. Orlando Montelongo here on The Public Affair, so make sure you guys stay tuned.
Yep.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this super awesome episode of The Public Affair. My very special guest, Mr. Orlando Montelongo, who I don't know why in my head I keep wanting to call you Francisco. That's not your name.
I'm not going to.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Now, before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Banda's Hauling Service with my boy Julian and Ana Banda, who rent dump trailers. You fill it up, they haul it away. I'm talking about junk. I'm talking about tree brush removal. I'm talking about that man who just won't get out of your house, so you got to go have somebody pick them up and haul them away. I'm talking about your car that breaks down. Book now at the number on the screen. Banda's Hauling Service is always going to be there when you least expect it. To Julian and Ana Banda, thank you guys for being longtime sponsors of The Public Affair. Truly appreciate you guys. Of course, to Blue Star RV Services, my boy Manny Guerrero. Now listen, he is a mobile RV tech who can fix all RVs. I'm talking about travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and more. Just know that even when you buy brand new RVs, they break down in like a week, all right? Something happens. You don't want to take it back to the shop. That's why you got to call Blue Star RV Services. He'll even deal with all the warranty for you. Just pay him a small service fee. He'll take care of the rest. Follow on Facebook or call the number on the screen to Blue Star RV Services with Manny Guerrero. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Magdaleno Drywall Solutions with my boy Francisco Magdaleno, specializing in all drywall services, both residential and commercial. He's also specializing in interior and exterior paint, sheetrock, and so much more. He even said on the show that when it gets a little bit too hot, because summertime is coming up, they'll take their shirts off and work like that as well, which I'm going to hire them for something. I don't know what it's going to be in my apartment. Maybe I'll have them paint the apartment. I don't know. Listen, just call the number on the screen. Book today. Absolutely true and 100% satisfaction guaranteed to Francisco Magdaleno. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to J. Petal and Poke with Junior Fuentes, Thomas Roberts, and the entire family providing delicious, savory Japanese crepes and poke bowls. They also have handcrafted Thai rolled ice cream for dessert, darling. You can choose from a menu item or create your own like I like to do, because I like controlling things. Yeah, especially my food and my men. Locations on University Parks Drive and Hewitt Drive. You can order online at jpetaltx.com. The food is delicious and their whole family is hot. To J. Petal and Poke, thank you for being longtime sponsors of The Public Affair. Of course, to Elite Barbershop with Sid Rodriguez, located on Hewitt Drive. Making sure I'm looking super scrumptious for this episode and all 150 plus episodes of The Public Affair. Call the number on the screen to book or download the Squire app or just walk in. They got Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Clint Fletcher, and Isai Reyes over there making you look as snackish as I have. My boy Sid Rodriguez has created the ultimate elite barbershop and has been the longest running sponsor of the Public Affair. I truly appreciate you, bro. And of course, to Ana Limones with Hummingbird Party backdrops and decor. You can call her for all party decor, including beautiful balloon props, giving an extra flavor to your party event. You know, balloon arches are in right now. Yeah. When you have a party or an event or anything, that's how you know people know that you got shit going on. You order balloon arches with Ana Limones. She's gonna take care of you. Call the number on the screen. Oh, she's also gonna have a number of wooden backdrops as well. Take them super scrumptious pictures. Call the number on the screen to book for all your party favor needs. My girl Ana Limones, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. I truly appreciate you, girl. All right, guys, we're gonna get right back into it with my very special guest, Mr. Orlando Montelongo. You know, listen, Orlando, I had some more questions as it pertains to you raising a son. I know that you didn't want to really get into you know, why did you raise him solely? Can we at least talk that much?
Not at all. Okay, not in the beginning. I mean, you know, again, being young parents, you know, being in love, right? Yeah. We have this baby. We're gonna try to figure this out. And, you know, it I guess it didn't take long. Yeah. I guess I'll say it that way to realize that it wasn't going to. Yeah. And you know, we had some stuff go on with that. For sure. You know, but I think everything happens for a reason. Yeah, definitely. As people say, but yeah, it's very much so that the situation is, you know, he's with me. Yeah. And that's just the way it is. You know, would you go back and change that dynamic if you could? I mean, I wish we could really get into it. Again, I'm not going to pressure you. I'm sure it's super personal. But like, if you had to go back and change the events that might have transpired, would you have gone back and made one of them different, or do you think this is the way things were supposed to be? You know, and that's a good question. Yeah. And I think about that stuff a lot. With, you know, as you grow up, as you go through life at whatever age, right? Yes. Young, you go through your adolescence, you go through adult stuff. I just believe things happen the way they should be. For sure. Right? And it's like my mindset now, if I had it back then, right? It's a whole different thing. Yeah, for sure. You know, because now I'm more mature than I was at 17, 18. Yes. So it's like, I don't really dwell on that sort of stuff. I got you. Because it's like, the way things happen. Yeah. Things could have been worse. Things could have been better. Yes. It's just about moving forward and then realizing, okay, again, having a son, having someone to relate and relay all this information. Like I tell my son all the time, I'm like, dude, I'm not that much older than you. Yeah. Believe it or not, I can speak your language. For sure. Like, I know exactly, more or less, because it was different times. But, like, I know probably some of the thoughts you're having, some of the things you're going through. Like, I went through them. Yeah. And because I'm not, you know, a 60-year-old parent. Right. No hate to 60-year-old parents. No. But, you know, if you have a child younger, then I think you can relate a little better. A little bit. No, that makes sense. You know, no, absolutely. Yeah. And so I think that's an advantage. Yeah. Right. Again, I don't dwell. I don't think there's a whole reason to dwell because, again, you can't go back. You can't change anything from the past. For sure. You can only focus on the future and try to, again, hopefully lead in the best direction that you can. Definitely. But ultimately, people are going to make their decisions how they do. Yeah. You know, this is a good question, I feel. You know, growing up with, again, we talk about Sergeant Montelongo, and he probably ruled the household with an iron fist, and there was bedtimes, and there was this, and there was that, and there were rules and regulations. Do you think that you gave your son a little bit more freedom, or do you think that you were just as strict as your dad? Definitely not as strict. Yeah. A bit more freedom. Again, I want to have trust with him. Okay. But, you know, it's tough. Again, he's a teenager. Yeah. Right? Teenagers are very tough. Right? Yeah. They go through these different stages of life, whether it's being a bit more rebellious or whatever the case is. But he's definitely a good kid, and I know he is trying to figure it out. Yeah, just definitely. Like we all try to figure it out whenever we're a teenager. For sure. You know, we get influenced differently and all that, but you've got to start to see, okay, my actions are resulting in this. Right, for sure. And so, okay, like... Do you let him make those mistakes? Like, yeah, go try this and see what the repercussions are. You know what I mean? I definitely don't encourage it. Right. But I also know that I can't be there with him 24/7. I can't look everything. I can only, again, through conversation, try to just say, look, man, I get it. I did this too. Right. I see what's kind of happening. Because I can really remember what it was like. It's like, just know this is what kind of the consequences are. It'll happen. But just make sure you're, you know, trusting the people that you're around. Yes, definitely. As a young adult, 17 years old, do you think you've succeeded in building that level of trust and like,
commitment for him to be like, you know what, Dad, I'm having these feelings like I like this girl, or everybody in my school is, I don't know, smoking or whatever the case is, and I feel comfortable talking to you about this. Do you feel like you've succeeded in that, or do you still think that's never like an end game or an end goal?
Yeah, I would say that for sure. That like at moments I see that he's listening.
Yeah,
but sometimes I'm like, I don't know that he's listening to anything that I'm saying, right? But that, I think, is how that kind of works.
Yes.
Is there's moments in life, again, having kids where they say something or show something, and you're like, okay, he is listening, or she is listening, or whatever the case is. But,
Got you.
But it's definitely still work.
Yeah.
It's definitely still work.
So you just have one son.
Just one.
Orlando, I kind of want to get, as introverted as I assumed that you were, because obviously you're not too, and like we shared a lot with each other. I've definitely told you some of my things that I've shared on the show. I don't give a fuck. But I'm an open book. I'll tell you guys anything you want to know. I go on these other podcasts, and they be so scared.
To ask you stuff?
Yes. What are you scared of? Ask me whatever I don't feel like, and I know everybody's not like this, and I respect it.
Yeah.
But I always encourage my guests to open up and be the most open you can be. I'm only providing the same for them and for anybody else. You know what I mean?
Sure.
With all that being said, wherever I'm going with it, where was I going with that?
Where were you going? I don't even know.
I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
Oh no, I was going somewhere with that. Do you date? That's what I was going to ask you.
Date?
Yeah, because are you first of all, are you single?
I am single.
You can leave all that in too. That's a true moment. That's a true moment in broadcasting.
True.
Yeah, I love leaving shit like that. Just for fucking. No, I always wanted to know, like, do you date? I mean, you raised a 17-year-old son. I have a friend who's similar to you. He's 30. He's raised his son, but he doesn't date. And I'm like, why you don't date? I mean, I don't date either. But what about you in your personal life?
I don't mind getting into that.
Yes, please.
A little bit. So dating for me is very, I guess I'll call it unique or different. Something about my son was I knew for whatever reason, again, whenever he was younger, whenever me and his mom were going through stuff, I didn't want to bring women in and out of his life.
Oh, okay.
It's just something I was never going to do. And I feel like I did a very good job about that.
Good deal.
Because, again, he's a boy. His dad, again, I guess I've seen stuff like that before.
Yeah.
And that can be a very bad situation.
For sure.
As your child's growing up.
Yes.
Is they can think that's okay.
Yes.
To whatever they think, maybe the truth behind it or not, but it's like, I just never wanted my son to see that and think, okay, I can have this girl and this girl on the side, and then another girl. It's like, I was very careful not to do that. So I say all that to say dating, I kind of don't date.
Okay.
I enjoy hanging out.
Yes.
I don't know the last relationship. It's been 5-6 years, maybe something around there. So,
did your son know her?
Yes.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, but again, yes. Even going back to all your thoughts of me being truly introverted, things like that. I just stay private.
That's good.
I just try to stay as private as I can with certain things. When it comes to other things, then I open up more.
Yeah,
right?
I got you.
But things with my personal life, things with my son, I again am more private about it.
For sure.
Anyone can attest to that because there's always people who, well, I'm going to figure you out. It's like, no, you're not. No. You can try, but it's just not going to go there.
I kind of tried. I'm not going to lie. And then it didn't work. It didn't work. He did. No, but I often wonder that, a lot of people will make the decision. I mean, I don't date either, but that's because I don't know how to. Right. I am horrible. Like, I can get to know people. Like, okay, I like learning about people here on the show, but I hate learning people in that other dynamic.
In the other way.
You know what I hate learning people's quirks. Sure. Like, what makes them mad, how fast I have to text you back. Do you only want to look good on a picture? That's how these gay people are. You know what I mean? That's why I'm hoping some straight man will just decide he hates his wife and then wants to get with me. And then they're less dramatic. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but do you ever find yourself, like, do you want more kids, Orlando? I mean, do you want to go through that again? Like, do you want to get married? Kids. You're a strikingly handsome man. No homo. But, so I imagine the girls are all up in the DMs. And, when the show comes out, the girls and the guys are going to be in your DMs. I'm just telling you right now. It happens. You can block the guys. It happens. Yeah. Just block them. They won't get mad. They try. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Effort, right?
But girls are getting your DMs too.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you might meet the love of your life being on the show.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I could go back to this show and you'll be at the wedding and say, Andrew, you're the whole reason for this relationship.
And I'm hosting.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And we'll do a podcast.
Yes. Mimosas
over at my wedding.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, but do you want all that in your life?
I don't think I want more kids. I don't think so. I think now, again, being older, again, 36, man, I just don't know. I like little babies. I actually have one of my members just had a baby. I think he's 3 months.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, well, a lot of times, when she's working out, I'm holding them, and it's very nice. Like, I like babies.
Okay, no, I hate babies,
but it's not my baby.
No, yeah.
So I can give them back.
Yeah, babies are the worst. No, yeah.
No, babies are cool.
No, the only baby I like is my 2-year-old nephew.
Yeah, I met him at the.
Yes, you did. You met JJ. He was a wild child. He's the only one I like. All the other babies, I'm like, get them away from me. Don't. Yeah. No, they're cute.
Yeah, but babies, it's just to go through that again.
Yeah.
I don't know, be tough.
Yeah.
Marriage, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe one day, but again,
a woman to grow old with,
Yeah. And that's just something, I don't really spend too much time trying to find that someone. It's just more naturally, like, hey, if it happens, then cool, then let's just kind of work it that way. But
well, with that being said, ladies, if you're in the market for a new man's and his son is grown up, so you don't have to worry about no kid things, Orlando is single. Listen, you're gonna find the love of your life being on this podcast.
Being on this show, yeah.
Okay, and like I said, if the dudes are in your DMs, you just go ahead and
I'll just send them to you.
No, don't, please, because it's all the gay ones. I don't want them.
Okay.
No, unless it's some straight man who's trying to like experiment with you, then you can be like, well, Andrew is down with experimentations.
I have a referral.
Yes, you do. Yes. Okay. So I want to get into some of the different. You hold a number of hats.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to kind of get into CrossFit 818. Like you mentioned earlier, Monika was the one that actually introduced us because we had class at your gym. Okay. And then on the side, whenever she was busy or had to cancel class or whatever, like the 3 times, which is like never, because she's a beast.
Yeah, she is,
she kudos to her. I don't know any, oh my God. She's like a hardworking, just
absolutely. She's
straight minded. She's amazing. She is amazing. You mentioned that you don't know her that well.
I didn't. And I was thinking back and, we had conversations, things like that, but just recently, we started talking a bit more, things like that. So
she's very into.
She's also been supportive and like
very
everything
into
about
that.
her. Yeah,
very into supporting like people like her. Like the fitness people and all that. But okay, so CrossFit 818, you're closing the doors to that.
Yep.
How did that affect you as a business owner? I mean, did you think that you failed at something, or how were you able to kind of just like make that decision to move on from that gym? And I have to say, promoting for gyms is difficult.
Yes.
When Soko Soccer Academy was doing CrossFit, and I was even showing people that's how I lost all my weight.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to do it. It was, I'll admit, that was the hardest thing to promo is a fitness center.
Yep.
So what do you think went wrong, and how did it affect you?
So I'll kind of go into the story of CrossFit 818. Mm-hmm. It was an opportunity.
Yeah.
And this goes back to another gym, which I think you're familiar with, which was JR CrossFit.
Love Juliana.
Yeah, Juliana.
I love Juliana.
Awesome.
Do love her, yes.
So she was closing her doors.
Yes.
Well, I was training someone there, and she was like, hey, kind of what's your plan? I've always enjoyed you coaching me.
Yeah.
I started coaching more within the classes and grew relationships and trust.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, what's the plan with, JR CrossFit closing? I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
So the opportunity came from training that one person, and she was like, hey, what if we try to bring a gym to Robinson?
Ooh, okay.
I was like, well, cool. I have a decent following of people who have said, just let us know.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll try to make it work.
Yeah.
And that was really how that started. So we basically purchased all the equipment.
Yes.
And we moved to that space that you've been to.
Gotcha.
Great location.
It's a great location.
I love that location.
I love the gym. And it looked like to me, unless you're just photoshopping people in, that you look like you had a good crowd of people.
We sure did.
Yeah.
We sure did. And the members are amazing.
Yes.
And I'll forever be thankful.
Yes.
For every single one, all the ones who came from the other gym, even the newer members that joined and stuck around.
Yes.
Because they're the reason why I show up like I do every day.
Yes.
Why I show up at 5:15, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
Why I'm just preaching to them. I'm like, hey, if you sign up for class, then I'll be there.
For sure.
And I try to stay consistent. I try to stay motivating for them because, again, going back to what you were saying, it's very hard in the fitness industry to get new members or to have people step in and try it.
Right.
They maybe haven't worked out in 10, 20 years. Who knows?
Yes.
So anyway, we moved there. Man, I come from coaching.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
come from running a business. So that was very different.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I just
I
do that all the time on all my shows. I'm just like, go ahead.
Yeah. So, I was trying to figure it out as I was going.
Okay.
Yes, Facebook, I brutalized that. I was
Yes, you
posting photos and videos.
Yes, you did.
My whole intention, because I love content, we all consume content, right? So it's like, well, if other people can see these people, these members working out and say, oh, hey, I look like that person, or maybe I can do that. Come on.
Definitely.
Like, let's get you moving, because clearly you are watching this for a reason, or you have an interest to want to, better your life through fitness, whatever the case is. And it worked a little bit, but then, sorry, man.
Oh, no, you're good. I swear. It's just me. No,
yeah.
You're good,
But, we grew some.
Right.
Some, didn't stay. And then it just kind of went like this.
Yeah.
And, it's just to the point now with the investors, because I don't come into it, I didn't buy everything.
Oh, I got you.
There's people behind the scenes.
Yes.
It just became too much.
Too much.
Right? They were putting money into it. They weren't seeing a result. It's business, right?
It's business. If
you're not seeing a return on your investment, well, you have to make some hard decisions.
For sure.
So it was decided that actually this coming Friday, that's going to kind of be it. So
that's it.
It's tough.
Yeah. Do you have you gotten over it, or do you think it's going to be hard for you on Friday? And by when this episode comes out, 818 will be done.
Yeah.
And so how do you think you're going to react when you have to give your lock the doors?
So it's tough. It's kind of mixed emotions.
Right.
Again, I'm in this for the members.
For sure.
It's kind of deja vu.
Yeah.
From over at JR.
Oh, I see.
Meaning like just what are we gonna do? Where are we gonna go? Man, we've been trying out different gyms.
Yes.
We've been to CrossFit Misfits, Train Waco.
Yeah.
Halo has been super supportive of letting us train there just to get a feel for everything.
Right.
And so it's still undecided.
It's difficult.
I'm not sure, because it is just me.
Yeah.
Coaching everything, doing the programming, and just every bit of it is very tough on one person.
Yeah.
But again, man, we would have been there a year just next month.
Oh wow!
May.
You should have held it on for one more month just to say that you could do 1 year.
If I could have, I mean,
I think a lot of people too. There's a big misconception about joining gyms and workout because when Soko Soccer Academy stopped doing their CrossFit as well, they still excel in individual skills training, and they are doing huge things now. But they had cut out the CrossFit training. I was that person too. I was like, where the hell am I going to go now?
Exactly.
What am I going to do? But I also, what hindered me from even starting working out was I always thought I was going to be judged.
Sure.
And a lot of people think that they're going to be judged. And a lot of people think, oh, well, these are all seasoned people that I'm working out with. They're going to look at me like, what are they doing here? And I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Orlando, it's quite the contrary.
Sure.
I worked out with athletes, like soccer athletes, you
Sure.
know what I mean, that were fit and they looked amazing and they were cut and I was 300 pounds and disgusting, you know what I mean, but they were all supportive of me. Every gym, even when I went to Monika's, they were all supportive of me. When I went to Train Waco, those big muscle guys were all, oh, you know, you look good today, bro, blah, blah, blah. Do you feel that some people have a misconception about joining gyms as well?
Absolutely. And that's something I wanted to touch on today, especially. Hopefully it helps motivate people. Hopefully, depending on what happens for me, I mean, again, the more the merrier. But, you know, CrossFit in itself has just a bad misconception. And and I get it. I mean, CrossFit's been around 2007, 2008, more or less, as far as what it has become now. Right? CrossFit is the sport of fitness.
For sure.
Right? So there's professional CrossFitters. Sounds crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
I
true.
I saw them. I was
oh, well,
like,
yeah.
So,
by the way, did you tell them that you competed?
Yes, I did. Well, didn't I say that in the beginning of the episode? I didn't.
Maybe.
I don't know. I've had all these mimosas.
Second place.
Second place at Festivus Games just yesterday. My body's sore, and there were beasts over there. Do you understand? Beasts. They were but all of them, they even would come up to me and be like, hey, good job on your, and I was in the novice division.
Sure.
But
you know, that's the stuff that matters right there.
Yeah.
Is, again, going back to CrossFit, yes, it's expanded. It's a sport. It's a worldwide thing.
For sure.
You know, but again, just like when you search anything, right? Working out or CrossFit, you're going to see the high intensity type stuff, the best of the best athletes.
Yes.
You're an athlete, man.
Yeah.
But is your goal to be on that stage and that level? Maybe, maybe not, but that's the 1% of those amazing athletes.
Yeah.
You know, so taking a step back, it's like CrossFit is for everyone.
For sure.
Right?
Absolutely. 100.
But I will say, again, kind of with what you were saying with, you know, join places where you seem judged or feel judged. I feel like that's always going to be there, whether it's absolutely true or whether it's just you in your head.
For sure.
What I try to tell a lot of my members is like, look, you're here not for the person next to you.
Right.
You may know them very well. Like I know all my members well.
Yeah.
But you have to go into it being a bit selfish.
Definitely.
Like this is 1 hour of your day that you chose,
yes.
right, to come in, to work out for whatever your reasons are.
That's it.
Right? Once you step through that door, nothing else matters. This
For
is
sure.
your 1 hour to be selfish. Your husband doesn't matter. Your kids don't
Absolutely.
matter. Issues don't matter.
Absolutely.
So I try to keep that for myself when I'm coaching.
Yeah.
Again, going back to the whole, well, you seem a bit introverted, this or that. Sure, but when and you've seen me, right? You've seen me
Orlando's
coach.
on a mission to make sure nobody thinks he's introverted anymore.
It's, but
yes.
you know, but I
Yeah.
have my points of that.
No, absolutely.
But when I come into coaching,
yeah, you're like
it's a switch.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's definitely a switch, and that's very purposeful.
You're like eccentric and you're supportive of everybody.
Exactly. And
jump on this box.
Yeah, exactly. Do it, jump. But
I was there.
Yeah. But it's like that's what people need.
Absolutely.
They are paying to basically be told what to do.
Yes.
Otherwise they would do it on their own.
Right.
And most people aren't going to do it.
No.
And they have the, thought behind it, or like, oh well, I can join this gym or that gym do it by myself, but are you really going to do it?
No.
Right.
I had a gym membership before I started working. My true workout regimen started at Soka Soccer Academy.
Yeah.
And before that, I had like a regular gym membership, and I would just walk the treadmill 30 minutes,
Yeah.
but I wasn't seeing, nobody was telling me like, this is what you need to be eating.
Yeah.
Nobody was telling me like, why did you eat this today? I was doing that and then going home and eating, McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And so I think the advice that I can, because I've been doing CrossFit for about 3 years now.
Sure.
When the show started. And so the advice that I can give to somebody, Orlando, is that I think a lot of people are waiting to do it with somebody.
Yeah.
I woke up on a Monday morning.
Yeah.
At 5 a.m. and said, I'm going to go try this out.
Yeah.
And it's history since then.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And everybody's waiting for like an excuse to go.
Sure.
You don't need an excuse. Just go
You
fucking
don't
do
need
it.
an excuse.
Okay. And that's it. And what's 1 hour in your 24-hour day?
Exactly.
It's nothing.
Like it's nothing. It's really
It's nothing.
And
Yeah.
that's just the thing, is you just have to make it simple.
Yeah.
Group fitness, I love group fitness because it's other people. It's other
Yeah.
like-minded people who are there for the similar reason. They just want to live better, move better, be more healthy. And I mean, you're a testament to that, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, luckily, and I always kind of look back and say, if I didn't have the genetics that I do, because my family, like you've seen my dad, I think, like
I've only on the phone.
Okay.
I swear I've never even seen him. But is he thin too?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
but my thought at times is like, man, like what if I was, bigger, weighed more, whatever? Like,
Yeah.
would I? Like, man, I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, it's very tough to think about that because I can push it and motivate it,
Right.
but that's where I just take myself out of that equation and I give them all the props.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like, you're here for this, you joined for this or that reason, but
Definitely.
sometimes I think, man, I don't know if I could do that. So
know.
I just applaud everyone just for showing up and doing that because,
Definitely.
again, luckily, like genetics works how they
Yeah.
do, but I'm also very motivated to stay healthy, stay fit.
And if you are consistent as Orlando, you can eat 2 small pizzas.
Yeah, sure.
and not gain a pound. You know what I mean? So there you go, right?
Yeah, but you have to put in the work.
You have
and
to put in
hey,
the work.
As crazy as it
Yes.
sounds, that's some of my motivation.
Yes. My good friend George DeLeon, Wormy, he told me the same thing.
Yeah.
He said you just got to put in the work.
You got to put
And
the
that
work
stuck
in.
with me. Yes.
And yeah, should you eat 2.5 pizzas? Probably not.
No.
But
Should you drink mimosas all the time? No.
probably not.
Yeah.
But it when you work out, it's definitely better. If you're doing that every weekend and
and you're not doing
working
shit,
out,
then you're gonna.
that's the issue.
Be
right?
disgusting.
That's
Yes,
the issue.
absolutely.
But anyone can do this. Anyone can
Right.
do any sort of fitness. I believe CrossFit is the best way to get you fit.
Yeah.
Again, it's just what I believe in.
Would you do it again?
CrossFit?
Would you open another set of gym doors again?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think right now there's what seems like different opportunities possibly there.
Yes.
Again, the member support is really what keeps me just really holding on to it.
Definitely.
Because it's hard at times. I'm like, man, I just don't know. Like, I don't know this business from that
For
side of it.
sure.
I know the coaching side.
Yeah,
of it.
for sure, for sure.
Let me coach. I'm good. But
Yeah.
the business side is different.
It's different.
Very, very different.
It's everything. Even with this shit.
Is everything.
It's like, oh God, I wish I had a person.
Hey, just
Right?
someone else.
Yeah,
but,
just to handle it. Then you got to pay them too, and it's like, oh God.
But I've always had very good support.
That's good.
Help.
Shout out to your members.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
they're awesome. You guys are awesome for
Yes.
just showing up every day and just I mean, just embracing everything about it.
Definitely.
It's very cool.
Well, and you know, God, Orlando, I hate that we're running out of time, but I really wanted to touch on this too. Now, Orlando is not going to be struggling, right? Because you're also an insurance agent.
Insurance agent.
Okay. And you know, I really, this is like the one thing I really wanted to touch on before we leave. We need to talk about the importance of life insurance.
Yes.
You know, too often are we seeing these people unfortunately pass away on our social media, and there's no life insurance, so the families are having to take other precautions to pay for a funeral. Do you know what I mean? Can we touch a little bit about that and the importance? I mean, because you know, like I have a regular job too, and I have life insurance with a regular job. But maybe that's not enough, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So talk to us a little bit about that, please.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I want to make this this is not an advertisement or
anything.
anything.
Not at all.
This is just what I've learned and the reason I became an agent. Mainly for life insurance is my focus, and it's because I have seen the stories. I have seen the GoFundMes. I have seen just, again, having a policy through your job is great. Like, take it. It's cheap. But it's a group term policy.
Right.
Meaning you quit your job, you leave, you get fired. Well, there goes that policy.
That's it.
You have got to own your policy.
I've seen it happen, Orlando.
You've got to own it. And things happen too many times. I have family members that, you know, didn't have life insurance policy. And it doesn't have to be a big amount.
Right.
It can be just to cover the expenses of your burial,
which
is not cheap. And things are not going to get any cheaper. But the best advice, own your policy, get it at your youngest, healthiest age, because you can be uninsurable. That's just the facts.
Oh, yeah.
And
if you wait too long, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It only gets more expensive. And, man, I remember quoting a friend of mine. It was for her daughter. I think she's 8.
Yeah.
It was like $60,000. It was like $30.
What's $30? $30. Y'all spend that on beer all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just don't get beer that one day, and that's your life insurance policy.
But you have to have something. But it just, you know, again, I give that example to say that's an 8-year-old.
For sure.
Right? Let's say you wait until you're 60. Sure, you may can still get the policy, but $60,000 is now probably going to be $250.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the issue that I see most often when I have conversations.
Right.
Or just information that I gather is, you know, people want the policy when they need it.
Yeah, definitely.
When they're sick.
When they're sick, yeah.
Right?
And you can't really do that.
You can, but here's what can happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say you're in need. We figured out exactly what you need.
Okay.
And you tell me, hey, I need $100,000 life insurance policy.
Okay.
We do kind of a questionnaire. We kind of figure out, okay, what's your health like?
Right.
Last doctor visit, this or that. And then you have diabetes, or you have just some health concerns.
Like an ailment.
Yeah.
Yes.
But let's say, okay, you tell me, hey, I need to be at $100 a month.
Right.
Okay, cool. Well, because again, you're not as healthy.
Right.
We can say, hey, you got approved, but because of the health issues, it is now $300.
Right.
So it's like, dang, you know, I could have gotten it maybe 10 years ago,
and it would have been a lot cheaper.
And it's locked in.
Yeah.
It's locked in.
We need to really, like, I think that's so important to stress, because we're passing away younger. I shared on my last episode, one of my very good friends, he just passed away. He was only 27. You know what I mean? And so we never know what's going to happen. And it's so important for us. And again, I'm like you, I see the GoFundMes and I see the, you know, we're going to cook dinner, which is great and everything, you know, but it's important for us to have this coverage, you know, so our loved ones and the people after us are not worrying about stuff like that and getting things together. You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
Do you agree?
I fully agree. And again, that's why I became an agent. Was I saw just, again, the what's the word? Just the people not understanding.
Right.
And again, when you go work at a place, right, it's kind of the same steps. You get hired.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew, your benefits will start in 90 days.
Right.
If you have questions, here's the packet.
Yeah.
Right. It's not necessarily the HR's job to go over, hey, tell me about what's going on in your life.
For sure.
You have to really take the initiative to figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you.
To me, I look at it just like a stream of income.
Right.
If you have just one stream of income, that could be fine. But have another stream.
Yes.
Right. And again, going back to the life insurance, like have your policy through your job.
Yeah.
Have the insurance through your job if it's affordable.
For sure.
But also own your own policy.
For sure.
Because again, I could go deep into that, but I really want to say that message me with any questions you have on that.
How do we contact you? Tell us.
I would probably say, give my number?
I don't know.
How do you think?
Just slide in his
Facebook?
DMs. I'm going to tag him everywhere. So
yeah. Well, there you go. Just do that.
Okay.
again, the company that I work for has been around for 75 years. It's Texas-based.
Okay.
Again, I'm just trying to get policies for people at their youngest, healthiest age.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I can get a kid's policy at the earliest of 15 days old.
Oh, wow, really?
15 days old.
Get the babies. Yes.
Get the babies.
Yes, get the
your
babies
own policy.
insured. Yes.
I promise this is the only time that you'll have full control over what you pay.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me, hey, I can do this. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to upsell you.
Yeah.
You just need to have something in place.
And again, you guys, we just never know. It's really like hit me.
It's
like
scary.
How short life is.
It's very
you
scary.
know, yes. And I'm just going to put this on video document. If I die, God forbid, tomorrow, if your name is not Jaime Gutierrez or Mauro Maldonado, you don't get a damn thing. Hey. Don't even come to my house. Don't get nothing. I told them, go to my house, get everything. Yeah. I don't want nobody to have a damn. Yeah. Go clear my bank accounts, everything. Sure. Yeah, just in case, because I'm guilty. I have an insurance agent. She tells me all the time, you need to get life insurance.
You need to.
And it's true. And I hate to say it, but it's unfortunate. This life is short.
It is.
And we never know what's going to happen. But that's video documents. That's
exactly.
just in case, the courts want to get involved in shit like that. Right? Yeah. So many people want to ice me too. But anyway.
And the last thing on that, just real quick.
Please do. Yes. Go ahead.
Again, listening to podcasts that I do for insurance, for fitness, whatever it is, something I heard that was great, that stuck with me, was a life insurance policy is a delayed gratification. Right? So it's delayed, right?
Yes.
You want it to grow over time.
Yes.
Clearly, you don't want to die tomorrow.
Yeah,
right?
but
it's a whole delayed thing,
for sure,
right? So we don't see that, right, until it could be too late.
Definitely.
So it's like you do the investment now, or you do and get the policy sooner than later, because it will have its benefits when you need it.
Absolutely,
for sure.
I agree with you. God, Orlando, I loved having you on the podcast. I wish we had 7 hours. Unfortunately, we don't, because there's so much more I would have loved to get to know about you. But I'd love for you to come back in the future when you can open up to us a little bit. But no, I think, first of all, I have to apologize, which I probably don't owe you this. You probably don't think I owe you this. I have to apologize for thinking that you were as introverted as I thought you were. Yeah. You have been nothing but an open book to us. You've been a joy to talk to, a joy to get to know, and a joy to build a friendship with, honestly. Yeah. And regardless of the fact that I always credit everybody for, even if they trained me one time, I've been to CrossFit 818 a few times, 3 or 4 times, right? And Orlando's trained me, and anybody that takes a part in making sure my body looks super hot like it does right now on this camera. I just give you all the thanks. What is something that you can leave us with before we head out? Is there something that I maybe missed, or something that you just want to let us all know before we go?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I brought it with me.
Oh,
this is something that I keep inside of my visor. So inside my car.
What is it?
I read this. It's like an affirmation type deal. So I want to read it.
Please
Hopefully
do.
It hits somewhere with some people. But I look at this from time to time just to keep my mind focused and to keep just a clear perspective. So this comes from an actual book, which is called The Present. So Present.
Yes.
So The Present. So it has here, be in the present when you want to be happier and more successful. Focus on what is right now. Respond to what is important now. Learn from the past. When you want to make the present better than the past, look at what happened in the past. Learn something valuable from it. Do things differently in the present. Plan for the future. When you want to make the future better than the present, see what a wonderful future would look like. Make plans to help it happen. Put your plan into action in the present.
That's powerful.
I have it just right at my visor. I read it from time to time when I'm going through whatever.
It's going to put you back.
It just puts you back into place. Yeah, definitely does.
We all need that. That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Truly.
Of course.
Yes. And don't forget, you guys, if you need a life insurance policy, definitely hit up Orlando.
Yeah,
he'll help you out. Okay. Hopefully another gym coming in the future.
Yeah. Hopefully something works out there.
And you women, if you're looking for a man's, you can go ahead and message him too. His son's grown. His son's a grown adult, so you don't have to deal with no baby mama drama, nothing like that, right? Sure. That's it, okay? He's package free. Orlando, thank you for coming on to me and Orlando are going to go to brunch now, but we are out of time. But listen, thank you guys again so much for watching this episode of The Public Affair. I've definitely got more on the way to Orlando Montelongo. Thank you so much for taking your time on this beautiful Sunday to come on. We still got more mimosas, so we're going to go ahead and finish that as well, and brunch mimosas times too, all right? Now, before we go, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode, of course, was brought to us by SoCo Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez, located at 3304 Franklin Avenue Avenue. They offer team, small group, and individual skills training and superb elite skills training to make your kids superb star athletes because they're training with professionals, darling. That's right. Make sure you follow them on Facebook at Soko Soccer Academy, on Instagram at Soko Soccer 254. My good friend Mauro tells me him and Dominic have been doing amazing things at Soko Soccer Academy, and I cannot wait for the community to see what they've got in store. I don't want to give things away. Yeah. They do be telling me, but we keep it between us, right? Yeah. To Soko Soccer Academy, thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Pollo Box and Audio with my boy Jeffrey Monreal, home for all your LED needs and audio accessories, installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and so much more. I got my brand new car. The next day, he tinted it. Nice. Make sure you get that dark tint, Orlando, because these girls are going to be in your DMs now, and you're going to want to do some DMs things in your new tinted car, right? Your one-stop shop to get everything done in one roof with my boy Jeffrey Monreal. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Brothers Roofing and Remodeling with my boy Jesus Sanchez from Mart, Texas. He's a small construction business from Mart, specializing in general roofing needs and so much more. You can protect your home from all the crazy... Listen, like yesterday was 80 degrees. Yes. Now it's 50 degrees. Tomorrow it might snow. Make sure your roof is in superb shape, please. You got to hit up Brothers Roofing and Remodeling with my boy Jesus Sanchez and follow on Facebook or call the number on the screen for a consultation. Of course, my girl Rosalinda Perez at Rosalinda's Insurance Agency, who provides insurance for all, including auto, life, home. We were just talking about life insurance. Yeah. Hit her up too. She'll give you a quote as well. She provides notary services as well. Contact her with the number on the screen. Y se habla español. To my girl Rosalinda Perez, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, I can't go on without thanking one of my biggest supporters, Mr. Junior Banda with Fatboy Michelada y Botana, who provides the best Michelada Botana plates for yourself or for a party with a menu of ton of different items. He's got Botana bowls, he's got chamon, he's got pickles, he's got so much more. He's got ceviche. Oh, he's got everything now. That guy is constantly creating new menu items. Not good for your diet, but sometimes we like to cheat, right? Yeah. And Fatboy Michelada and Botana is that place. Make sure you follow on Facebook and Instagram at Fatboy Michelada y Botana and place your orders now. To Junior Banda, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. To everybody that tuned in again, thank you guys so much. To my very good friend, Mr. Orlando Montelongo. I didn't call you that other name, not one time. So that I checked myself. I told him I kept wanting to call him Francisco. I don't know why I kept wanting to do that, but I did. And don't forget, my mimosas glass is empty, but to always keep it between us.
Thank you.
It.
Hey.
Wait for that train to pass.
Oh,
yeah, wait for that train to pass. Yeah, we do, because it catches. Like, so does the fucking rain.
Sure.
But one day I'm gonna be like Ann Harder and do it while she does it.
Yeah.
With all the noise in the background because she can, because she's Ann Harder, because she's like Jesus. Yeah.
There you go.
We good? We should just leave that on the episode. Fuck it, I don't care.
Which fun off?
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.